is Wednesday, January 23rd, and this is the Casual Wrestling Podcast, where each and every week I, the Notorious NerdyD, breaks down 4 questions from the casual wrestling community. Alongside me tonight, the pride of Wisconsin, a true casual wrestling fan, Milwaukee Mike. What's up, man?
How's it going, man? It's that time again.
It's that time. It came up fast, man.
It definitely did. I'm glad, though. I'm glad.
Well, because this is that winter that we usually have to go through, where it feels like the real long waiting period, and it wasn't as bad. I think CM Punk coming back, Randy Orton coming back, everybody coming back, made it a little easier to stomach.
Absolutely. I think they covered all the bases to get us through. I'm satisfied with it.
I agree. All right, so let's not waste time. Let's jump right into it. There was a shit ton of news dropped on us today. We went over show notes just yesterday, and then a whole bunch of news shit was dropped in our laps. Right before Royal Rumble, we get flooded with the news that Monday Night Raw is going to be moving to Netflix in 2005. Mike, what do you think that means for wrestling fans?
I think it's a mixed bag, right? I think you're going to get some pushback just because of the streaming service and having to subscribe monthly. But I think long term, it makes sense. Partnering with Netflix gives you kind of a media outlet where you can do your documentaries, you can have your movies, you can have all that figured out for you. But then also, I think it gives you a hub where financially, I think there was 10 years, $5 billion.
Billion with a B.
I mean, who was in a position to say no to that, right? I mean,
do you think anybody else was even close to that?
I listened to Nick Khan earlier. He was on the McAfee show.
Uh-huh.
And I think he had mentioned that Amazon was in the mix, Fox was in the mix, Paramount. But I think ultimately what he said was this was the deal that made the most sense. It's been a couple of months in the making, and they pulled the trigger on it. So we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, so. Here's what I think it means. I think it's going to, like you said, I think we're in for some weird times because it's going to change the way we handle wrestling from here on out. And they're now going to be asking us to pay for 3 different subscriptions in order to follow all of WWE. You're going to have to pay for Netflix, which is what, $6?
I think it's upwards of 10 now.
Is it 10? And that's assuming that they don't add another price tier when WWE comes.
Right.
So you've got that. They're asking us to pay for Peacock, which is, $10.
Yeah, something
right?
like that, yeah.
Right. So we're at 20. And then you have to have a basic cable subscription to get SmackDown, which the cheapest I could find was like $39, and you had to bundle a bunch of shit to go along with that. And so we're now talking like $60, $70 a month in order to be a wrestling fan. And I think that's okay for guys like you and me who, we control our income. But imagine being a kid right now and having to go to your mom or dad and try to convince them, hey, Mom, in order for me to follow WWE right now, I have to have a Peacock subscription. I have to have a Netflix subscription. I have to have basic cable. And I have to have all of these things in order to follow the entire product. I don't wonder if this isn't a trial run for Netflix to just grab everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think another good reason why they went Netflix, excuse me, I think majority of the households in America and worldwide have at least a subscription to Netflix. So I think this is the easier route to go because you can assume that most people are subscribed to Netflix or know somebody that's subscribed to Netflix. And I think that's kind of an easier door into the product. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see long term what happens with it. It could become a hub for everything WWE.
Well, what's interesting to me is the fact that Netflix got the rights to premium live events basically everywhere but the United States, which means to me that was something they were interested in. And I just wonder if it's something they couldn't work out. Like if the contract with Peacock runs through a certain date and they couldn't get a hold of it. But I imagine if they wanted the premium live events in every other country, that they at least have their eyeballs on what would it take. I mean, Netflix has disposable income.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they probably are seeing a decline just based on, just the nature of streaming, right? There's so much competition now, and Netflix, to me, doesn't have any real big sellers anymore. They don't have any real big like streaming pushers like, Hulu has live TV, and they're kind of bundling in with ESPN and Disney Plus. Amazon has the whole Prime package put together. I think WWE makes sense for Netflix. I wonder if they're not, how long they want to share, how long they see the opportunity to go, all right, next up we want SmackDown, and then we want premium live events. And I know it's interesting to me that NBC chose to hang on to SmackDown, the 2-hour show. That's interesting to me because outside of Roman Reigns, I don't know what the value is really on SmackDown as a product.
Yeah, I think you're banking on the loyalty of the fan base, always checking in and always showing up each week. I think that's mainly what you can really bank on if you're a network coming to the WWE.
Definitely. That Friday time slot, that's an interesting time slot. The other thing that's interesting to me is the Monday night time slot for Raw and the amount of competition there is on Mondays, and moving to a new streaming service gives them the opportunity to kind of look around and kind of survey what they'd want to do. As far Mondays are rough. I mean, that's a rough day to be on, especially with football. Yeah. I don't know if you don't start investigating Wednesdays, and I know that creates another situation, but I think Wednesdays could be interesting, especially if you're just trying to kind of, put that final nail in the coffin for AEW. Wednesday Night Raw could be an interesting thing. I definitely think I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this right now. I think as we get closer, it'll be interesting. I really want to see what they do with the pricing structure. If Netflix is willing to just stick to, the what is it, like you said, $10 a month, or if they decide to add a premium. I mean, can you imagine if they just raise the price on Netflix, how people who don't watch wrestling are going to react to that?
Yeah,
like, I didn't ask for this shit.
Yeah, and I seen Nick Khan earlier. He said that as of right now, they're staying Mondays when this deal happens. But he said there's definitely a possibility that it could move. And I did listen to Busted Open on SiriusXM today, and they were talking about what the commercial aspect would be of it when they switch over, because now you're not having to deal with your commercial breaks. You can kind of control the ad flow during a show. So does that knock it down to a 2.5-hour show?
That's
or
interesting.
Could they, because now they don't have constraints, right? They could go as long or as short as they want because it's a streaming
That's
show.
Interesting. You lose a lot of the standard rules that come with being on cable. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's the overrun is the overrun. If you want an extra 30, I guess there's not a lot of asking permission, probably, right? If you want to do the first hour commercial free, you can backload it. Yeah, that's an aspect that I don't think I even thought about. And then there's the flip side of that, right? They can just load it full of commercials now if they see Absolutely. That as a revenue stream. I think I do believe that TKO, Nick Khan, and Triple H have good intentions. I do feel like everything they've done lately has been with good intentions.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried from that extent. But yeah, I mean, it does to me feel a little segmented right now, because now you've got NXT moves to CW, right? You've got SmackDown's going to be on USA. You have Monday Night Raw will be on Netflix, and you have premium live events staying on Peacock. Now, what does that do for, I guess we'll have to figure out details, but what does that do for, like, Hulu runs Monday Night Raw the day after, right?
Yeah.
An abridged version. And there's no way Netflix is like, we only want this for one day. So that's got to be, Monday Night Raw is almost going to have to air live on Netflix and then be immediately available for replay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
And do they keep, and do they get some kind of library backlog of money? Lots at play here. It's interesting. I truly do believe the big push here is that Netflix in the next 4 or 5 years will try to scoop this all up and be the home of WWE. I think they could house the WWE network. It would give them tons of content as far as, the documentaries and things like that. It'll also be interesting to see, like, WWE has these partnerships with Hulu for, like, the new Bianca Belair documentary. And things like that. And you got to know that Netflix is going to immediately start pushing for more of that kind of stuff. The more content they can get on their platform, the better. Once you have the wrestling audience and they're subscribed, you would think you'd want to kind of double down on that.
I agree. Yeah, this could be interesting times for sure.
All right, Mike, question number 2 this week comes from Charles in Huntsville, Texas. And he asked, what are our expectations for Seth Rollins now that he's announced his intentions to still perform at WrestleMania? What are your thoughts on Seth Rollins?
I watched last night and it got me to think, right? He's saying that he's going to make it to Mania. He's going to come out champion from Mania. And it's just, I guess if you were going to get hurt, this would be the stretch to do it, right? Because you don't necessarily have to have him defend the title now, because you have the Royal Rumble, you'll have whoever wins declare who they want, Elimination Chamber, whoever wins that, they'll declare who they want, and then you got that stretch to Mania. So I guess he could sit on the sidelines and just kind of make appearances, cut some promos. Whoever challenges him at Mania can pop up as well. So it's interesting. I think it's a big risk, though, because if for whatever reason this rehab does not work and things fall apart at Mania, this is not going to be good.
So I'm going to tell you, I still don't think he's hurt. I think this is a story. I feel like there's shenanigans at play here because, number one, that janky ass knee brace that he wore out over his suit was literally to sell us on the fact that he was injured. I have a hard time. This is one of those things. For every good thing we praise Triple H for, if this is real, and Seth Rollins is injured, and they're going to let him ride this out, and like you said, like it's like what 50-50 that he shows up or doesn't show up, and you put time and effort into a story, that's insane to me. I just feel maybe I was off on timing, but I still believe that this injury is to set up and protect Seth Rollins so that when he does get cashed in on, that there's a story behind it of, oh, well, my knee was messed up. There was no way I could defend this.
Okay.
I'm not sold on this idea. So what does this do for Damian Priest? Let's say he's really injured. You've completely destroyed the credibility of Damian Priest. This idea that you see this guy come out injured and you don't cash in and you don't have Judgment Day I still, up until the end of Monday Night Raw, thought that Judgment Day was going to drag Seth Rollins out to the ring to end the show. And I was a little let down. I don't think Seth Rollins, first off, I don't think he needs a title. He's had a perfectly long run with the World Heavyweight Championship. He doesn't need it at WrestleMania. If the idea is to do CM Punk and Seth Rollins, they don't need a title. You can sell that match as best in the world just as easy as you can sell it as a World Heavyweight Championship. I think they wasted Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre last night. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a match that could be worthy of WrestleMania, especially if you put a title into that match. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what you do with CM Punk now. If in fact Seth Rollins can't go at WrestleMania, I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. I think you mentioned that in the Discord. I don't want to see two kind of disgruntled, bitter guys. It'll be a good match. It's not Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. I think I'm sold on that idea. And if I can't have that, I think I'd rather have something like CM Punk and Stone Cold or CM Punk and John Cena. Something nostalgic, maybe for Cena's last match, you bring, you run it back with CM Punk. I don't know. Here's the thing. If Drew McIntyre hasn't re-signed his contract, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, putting him over, and it feels like they're building towards something big for Drew McIntyre. But you have, when is Money in the Bank? That's July, right? So, I mean, you get to WrestleMania, you're right around the corner of what then with Damian Priest?
Right.
Because, I mean, he can't hold it through July, correct?
Well, yeah, he has to hold. He can hold it till July.
Till July.
I believe up until Money in the Bank, he can hold it.
Okay.
But I thought what was interesting about last night was CM Punk and Cody Rhodes interaction. And I wonder if they did that because of the plans from WrestleMania. And they don't include CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. They include Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk.
I like that. I don't. At some point, you've got to feel like Cody gets tired of this shit, though.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a heel turn.
Imagine this, though. Cody Rhodes, the size of star he is, has never been WWE champion.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. And the fact that they're just going to keep prolonging and putting it off. And I can see the situation where CM Punk eliminates Cody Rhodes from the Royal Rumble kind of in a backstabby way, right? In a sneaky way. And that sets up. I'm not mad at that. If we go CM Punk, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, that opens the door to do The Rock versus Roman. I just think if Cody Rhodes doesn't fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, it devalues this whole finish the story thing.
There's a lot to happen here. And I'm just interested from Saturday on what we got going on.
Well, and you mentioned this to me earlier. This is probably the most excited I've been for a Royal Rumble in a long time. It's so wide open. So wide. There is no telling what is going to happen on Saturday. Like let's go ahead and move forward here. Let's move to our predictions because I want to talk. I have things I want to talk about. So we have 4 matches, which. That's a lot of breathing room for the Rumbles, which I'm okay with. I don't need a lot of don't put a lot of shit on the Royal Rumble that doesn't need to be there. I think everything that's on this card so far has a purpose for being there. So let's start with Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. Who do you have in that match?
Yeah, there's a big part of me that really roots for KO all the time.
Same here.
But there's no way they're taking the belt off Logan Paul.
No, right?
I mean, not before Mania.
You don't get this close and then take it off of him.
Yeah.
Something will happen. There'll be some bullshit. Logan will cheat. Somebody will help him. I mean, Sami Zayn? Could Sami come back and cost, the conspiracy and all of those things? I don't know. But I'm with you 100%. Logan Paul wins, and then you roll into WrestleMania. So who does Logan fight at WrestleMania then? Is it LA Knight?
I mean, it has to be, right?
Do you think so?
I mean, it has to be.
So
I think it has to be.
Yeah. I could see John Cena. Just because the poster. Just because of the poster.
And it's interesting because Cena's on Impulsive tomorrow.
Oh, see, I didn't know this.
And last time somebody was on Impulsive, I think it was Roman, right?
Yeah.
And that said, okay.
That could work. It gives Logan some credibility, but I think that I think Cena's already done the passing the torch with Solo. So winning, I could see you have Cena win at WrestleMania and then vacate the title on Monday Night Raw and have some kind of tournament or bullshit to, because Cena's not sticking around, but I could see, I don't know. I like that idea. I think LA Knight's losing momentum. We all feared it, but I don't know how many times can you lose to Roman and then get put in a fatal 4-way? I guess he could win the United States Championship, but at this point, to me, that feels like a step backwards for LA Knight to win a mid-card title.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
All right, so fatal 4-way. You've been making some noise that anything can happen. Did you believe anything can happen?
I'm at about 25% right now that Roman could drop. And I think that's probably the highest it's been since he's had the title. It's going to be interesting though, because I'm looking at where they put this match on the card, and I think that's going to say a lot in terms of what the outcome could be. Because I think if you want either of the other three to enter the Royal Rumble, you're going to open with that.
You got to do it. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Now, if you close with the match, I think there's a strong possibility that The Rock is showing up.
Ooh, and costing him the title.
Either costing him the title or he wins and it sets up the now feud towards Mania.
Interesting. I didn't think about so I never envisioned The Rock just showing up.
Because a lot of people have him in the Rumble, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think
that's going to happen.
I think the Rumble plans have been set, and I don't think you need to waste the Royal Rumble on The Rock. If The Rock wants the main event, The Rock gets the main event. He doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble to get to there. I actually like your idea of, I think Roman wins. I do. I'm about 95% on Roman, just because at this point, what do you swing out of? If Randy wins, where do you go? You know, if LA Knight wins, where do you go? I don't think AJ Styles has any chance to win this. They just don't value him at that level to be the guy to knock off Roman. So I think Roman wins. I never thought about the possibility of The Rock showing up. The Rock, well, I mean, I guess, what if The Rock cost the other guys the match and basically does it saying, I want Roman?
That could be it too. That could be it. I'm thinking in terms of like Money in the Bank 2 years ago where Cena popped up after he won the match, right?
Yeah.
Like one of those kind of things where it's like he's celebrating, I just smashed these three guys.
You talk about just a dirty ending to a Royal Rumble. I mean, like, I assume both Royal Rumble matches are going to be phenomenal because I think, like you said, I have no fucking clue who's going to win. And then on top of that, you end it with The Rock. Oh, man. Ooh. This could be a fun Saturday.
Everything's pointing to it, man. Everything's pointing to it.
I don't know what it is. I just don't. I want The Rock back, but I just feel bad for Cody. For some reason, I just feel like, he came back. He's kind of been the guy, and he's carried the weight for a lot of his run. Came back, ripped up his titty, fucking wrestled for us with a purple titty, and then it's like, well, not this year. We're going to let Roman go again. And then, yeah.
I mean, he's got SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, it makes SummerSlam more fun, right? WrestleMania really doesn't need the moment. I just feel like for Cody, but I do feel like it's like CM Punk all over again. It's his promo was hit home for Cody there. All right, that's interesting. All right, so you're 25%. I don't know if you moved me. I don't know if you moved me on my percentage, but you definitely moved me on the idea of The Rock ending the show. Yeah, I like that. I think I'll pay more attention now to the order of the matches.
Yeah, same.
All right, let's go Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Who do you have winning the Women's Royal Rumble?
Oh, man.
This one's hard to me. This one is
so
many different possibilities.
Listen, they're building Nia Jax up. She's not a WrestleMania opponent.
I don't think so either.
Now, Becky Lynch is obviously going to be a favorite, right? Because just her aura and the promo she's been cutting, everything associated with her. I want Bayley, man. I really want Bayley, and I want it to be Bayley because I want it to be her turning on Damage Control.
Okay.
Swerving it, no Rhea Ripley. It's Io and Bayley at Mania. That's where I want to go.
I like it.
That's where I want to go.
I do like it. I think it happens. I think everything you want to happen is going to happen, but it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen the other way. I think Dakota Kai is going to be in the Royal Rumble, and their Damage Control is going to turn on Bayley and eliminate her in the Royal Rumble. And so I believe we get to where you want to go. I just think we're going to go a different direction. I believe in my heart of hearts that Becky Lynch taking a clean pin to Nia Jax was in return for her winning the Royal Rumble. I believe what else can you do at this point besides Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch? And while you can get there in other ways, I think that Becky being the Royal Rumble winner can kind of, you can sell it like, it's kind of the passing of the torch. It's who's been kind of renowned as the greatest woman for the last 4 or 5 years going up against somebody who may have taken her spot. And so there's a lot, you can sell that on a poster to me. So I'm convinced with you that the match that needs to happen is Bayley and Io Sky at WrestleMania. I just don't know that Bayley to me is a better loser than a winner. Yeah. She'll sell it better losing. I almost feel, because I don't know how you have Bayley turn. I feel like Io has to stay. They're not going to turn Damage Control babyface. I don't believe they are. I think they're just a little too confusing to be babyface. There's a lot of shit they do that I don't understand. The dancing and the getting in people's faces and things like that. I know it's like Japanese wrestling. I don't fucking understand it. And so I don't think, so I think the play is, Bayley is babyface, getting tossed out of the ring, and then, the next month is building her up to go after Damage. I still, though, in my heart of hearts, believe there's a long shot chance Sasha Banks shows up.
Oh, listen, you want to talk about the surprises now?
Well, I'm talking about to win it.
Oh,
to win it. Okay. I mean, and Bayley plays a supporting role in that, or they swerve and we end up with Bianca going against Io for the title, and the play is Sasha and Bayley versus they challenge for the tag team titles.
Now, see, I can see a scenario where Damage Control turns on Bayley and Naomi and Sasha come back Saturday.
Ooh.
And now there's a big situation where you got Bayley, Sasha, and Naomi going against Damage Control. Ultimately, Bayley versus Io at Mania.
No, I like this. I see where you're going.
And then Sasha
and Naomi, because they're the tag team. All right, see, you turned me. You turned me. I like that too.
I can see that.
Man, that's definitely interesting to me. Let's do men, and then we'll jump to surprises, because I might have got a little bit ahead of myself. So
I got you.
Men's Royal Rumble. Who do you have winning?
Oh man, I think everybody believes it's CM Punk, right? It's hard to really gauge anybody else. I mean, Gunther showed up yesterday. I think that was kind of a tease, like, oh, he may win it. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to CM Punk. It's going to be Drew McIntyre.
I'm with you here.
It's going to be probably Gunther.
Okay.
And then probably Jey Uso.
Interesting. Okay.
And they'll duke it out. I think they're going to tease Jey hard in this match. I think he's going to be the Iron Man.
I think he's the Iron Man. I definitely think he's the Iron Man.
And I think they're going to really, hype people up. I mean, he's got the crowd. They're going to convince everybody that, oh, maybe Jey will get this, and it's going to be Jey versus Roman, and yada yada. But I think it's CM Punk. I think it's CM Punk. I really do. I really do.
That's a lot of trust. That's a lot of trust from Triple H to do it. I can't get past. Nobody's won back-to-back since Stone Cold. I'm going to ride with this. I think Cody wins.
Oh, man.
I can't get behind this idea that Cody doesn't. I think if The Rock shows up, they triple threat. I just have a hard time getting behind the idea of Cody Rhodes not winning the Royal Rumble. He's been so protected for the last 2 years to just all of a sudden decide who CM Punk eliminates him then at some point, and then
I think so.
But
I think so.
But then if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, that means Punk is definitely going after Seth. Where does Cody go? What do you do with him?
See, this is so hard because I don't dislike Cody, and it sounds like I really
no. I'm not taking this as dislike. I understand the line of look, The Rock is the fucking Rock. If The Rock wants to come back, he could sell out the building by himself. So I understand. I just I can't see a WrestleMania where Cody is the guy left out, kind of, and they have to figure out what to do with Cody Rhodes.
My thing with Cody is I really need a heel turn from him. I'm craving that. I'm really craving it.
I just don't think they're going. I think 100% that WWE TKO, I believe everybody in that company goes, this is our John Cena. This is our guy. We're going to build this company around the hero that is Cody Rhodes. I think that's a business decision. I think from a wrestling standpoint, yeah, great. Cody would be phenomenal as a heel. I think honestly, I think they look at their roster and they go, Bianca and Cody are untouchable. We're not gonna turn them. As much as I've wanted a Bianca Belair heel turn, but I understand having two daughters that she's a role model, and I think Cody is the guy. He sells the birthday party. He sells the birthday banners at Party City. He sells the napkins and the plates and you have Roman, and you've rolled so long with a heel as the face of your company. I feel like TKO looks at this as, we have a marketable guy. Why would we turn him at this point? Yeah. That's just the way I feel. I don't know. I never say never. Man.
I'm happy. I'm happy with this though, because for once in the last 5 years, we're at a situation now where it's like, who's gonna win?
100%. 100%. And not even who's going to win. Normally, I'd say that we could pick a handful of guys, 2 or 3, and be pretty sure. There's no telling. There's literally, like you say, Jey Uso. I'm not mad if Jey Uso figured out a way. If they go, all right, let's try Jey Uso in the spot. You know? Yeah. Let's do CM Punk and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and let's do Seth Rollins and Jey Uso and see what happens. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. I don't think it's Gunther, because I always look into little nuances. The fact that Gunther immediately has an Intercontinental title defense against Jey Uso the night after, or the Monday after Royal Rumble, I don't think he wins the Rumble and then drops the belt.
He's got, I think it's Kofi Kingston, not Jey.
Kofi. Yes.
Kofi.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. But I don't think that. I would see more of a celebration on Monday Night Raw than hey, you won the Royal Rumble, now you've got to defend. And I don't think it's Gunther's time yet. I think Germany is Gunther's time.
Yeah,
that gives enough time. Where I get into is the way these titles are going to play out, like the World Heavyweight Championship, whoever wins at WrestleMania, if it's not Seth Rollins, you're kind of on a time crunch, right? Because you got Damian Priest waiting. You assume they have to at least toy with the idea of CM Punk. The way he moves merchandise and the way he sells tickets, they toy with the idea of, why not try it? And then as you get closer and closer to Germany, I think that is an expiration date. I think that will be Gunther's coming out party.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right, so let's go surprises. What are your big surprises of the Royal Rumble?
I think this year, I don't think it's a year of surprise. I mean, I think you'll get Naomi. I think that's almost a given.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
I think you'll maybe get Sasha.
Okay.
I think that's all for the women. I mean, maybe Trish, because she's got, she's recent,
AJ?
Recency. You know what? Maybe. Yeah.
I could see a short little run for AJ. She's not going to be a player. I don't think it's to come back. I don't think it's to build towards WrestleMania. I could see her coming back. I could see her getting eliminated by a Roxy from NXT or something like that.
Okay.
I could see her kind of passing the torch to a young star. Yeah. A quick thing. If you don't pay attention, you won't see it.
Sure.
She'll get the pop. Sure. They'll play the music. She comes out. She'll hit she had that spider looking finisher.
Yeah.
She'll put somebody in that, and then Nia Jax or somebody who needs heat will eliminate her. I'm.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's a possibility. I don't think she's a player though.
No, and I don't need any of these legends.
No.
Hey, look, let's stop with that.
No, I agree.
Let's stop with
You've
that.
got enough on the roster to run. I think we see a couple NXT people. I think maybe Tiffany Stratton. I could see. This is a good place to introduce those people to WWE audiences.
Are we going to see Jade?
So, I don't think so.
Ooh.
I don't think so. I don't know if this is the like. It feels like throwing someone into the fire if you do it at Royal Rumble, right? Because then the expectation is she has to perform at WrestleMania. I think Jade to me is a night after WrestleMania. Whoever wins the title at WrestleMania, I think she shows up the night after. I think that gives her another 2 months, and then it gives you 365 days before you have to put her in a WrestleMania match. You can protect her.
I'm not mad at that.
There's a part of me that wants to go, yeah, she comes out, eliminates Bianca Belair, and we just fucking, let's go straight to that. Let's do it. WrestleMania. I just don't know if she's ready. I don't think Bianca Belair gets enough credit for how good she is in the ring and maybe how bad she would make Jade Cargill look. And not like in a sense of like on purpose, but just how much she'd have to pull back on the gas in order to, you know, I guess you could do some kind of squash match where, but I just don't, you don't squash Bianca again, I don't think.
No, we can't.
Andrade?
Yeah, I think Andrade's back.
I don't think I don't think that goes over as big as like a lot of the internet wants it to be. I think it'll get its pop.
And I think, well, I don't think. I'm hoping we get a Big E appearance. I'm hoping that we get Big E, man. Like, we're in Tampa. That's where he lives. You don't have to go in there for too long. The pop would be crazy.
So what about with Big E helping Kofi or something? Catching him, you know, not even being in the Rumble. Just coming out with New Day and assisting. I want Big E back fully. I don't want to tease. If they tease me Big E and then they take him away again, that'll piss me off.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I want Big E back. I still don't understand why Big E can't do what Dakota Kai does.
Yeah.
And just assist in the matches. And maybe he just doesn't want to. I mean, I can see being in a headspace where you go, if I can't do this, I don't want to be a manager.
I don't want to be. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So I like I said earlier, I think Dakota Kai wrestles.
Okay.
I think this is. Okay. I think she's moving. She jumped in the ring pretty quickly here this last week. She has some oomph in her step.
Because she's what, 9 months now?
Yeah. I mean, and she's moving around and bouncing around, and it looks like at least for a Royal Rumble she could get a little bit physical. I could see, and maybe even if she's not in it, I think she gets physical and from the side.
Oh. This whole Hulk Hogan thing yesterday.
Yeah,
let's not touch that.
Please no.
Not.
That can't be real, right?
I don't need that dude. I don't need him. I don't need him.
Brock.
I've thought about this one. I don't think it is. I don't think he comes back for this.
The only thing I think is if the rumors of Brock and Gunther are true, the only person that you can have eliminate Gunther and be, Gunther still stay pretty protected, I think, is Brock.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like he could come in like after the Rumble, like, shows after the Rumble.
Yeah. No, I agree. This is me just playing fucking devil's advocate here.
But, I mean, obviously that's a pretty, I'd say that's a pretty popular surprise choice.
Because whoever eliminates Gunther, there is a little bit of, and maybe it's Jey Uso. There's going to be some cachet that comes with that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the one I keep seeing is the IWC darling, Okada or whatever his name is.
I've seen that, and I've seen like they're leaning towards him being like NXT. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea who this guy is.
I don't know who he is either. I just wrote it down because it feels like it's what the internet wants at this point.
Yeah, we'll probably get killed for saying this, but like, cool, I guess. I mean, we'll see.
look, if he comes out, I'm gonna have no fucking clue what I'm supposed to be expecting at all.
I guess he's like the Japanese John Cena.
Okay, all right.
That's what I've heard.
Cool.
So,
I mean, good description. I don't know. Interesting. I'm excited. I'm more excited for this Royal Rumble than I've been in a really long time. I think last year we all knew. Last year it was in San Antonio. I went to that one, but I knew from the jump, we all knew it was Cody.
Yeah.
Like that was the play. And this year there isn't anybody.
Yeah. I went to the one in St. Louis 2 years ago, and that was just the dumbest Rumble that ever existed.
I will say though, as it's the most fun shit to go to.
Oh, counting down
and shit. Half the time I was not watching the wrestling.
Oh no, just waiting for whoever's coming.
Exactly. That was the most fun. It was the most fun I've had at a wrestling event, even though it was that last year's Rumble was interesting. That was Alexa and Bianca, where Alexa just disappeared after the match. It was Bray Wyatt. It was the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match.
Yeah.
That was definitely interesting. I'm glad that this Royal Rumble is very Rumble focused. And then look, we got 2 title matches that need to kind of take place before we get to Mania. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right, last question. And this comes from one of the other news articles that was dumped on us today. And that is apparently WWE is replacing Kevin Patrick on Friday Night SmackDown. Mike, who is the man to replace Kevin Patrick?
No discredit to Kevin Patrick, but I am glad that he's gone. He is not my favorite commentary person.
Certain guys just don't have what I'd call the table talk.
Yeah. I
think he has a place in WWE, kind of like Byron Saxton. They'll find somewhere for him to work that's better, but I just don't. He doesn't. I agree that there's times I've never understood how much like an announcer meant until like listening to him versus Michael Cole and going, oh, this guy kind of puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
He doesn't keep me involved. And sometimes he says things that I don't even know if he knows fully what's going on. But who do you replace him with is my question.
I guess that's interesting. I mean, they got so many women in the back right now.
Uh-huh.
Could they maybe try putting a woman out there and having Corey Graves be the lead? I could see that. I could see the guy, I'm not familiar with his name, but the guy from NXT.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name either, but I know he's been doing a good job at NXT.
He's been doing a good job there. And then, the fan in me, hey, bring the GOAT back. Bring the GOAT back. Bring McAfee back.
That's the answer that I think everybody's looking for is Pat McAfee. Can he commit is the problem. Because I hate that they took Michael Cole off that table. Because I would love a situation where it was Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and then Pat comes when he can. You know what? Hey, you have an open invitation. When you can come, show up. You want to do premium live events, you show up. But if not, something hit me earlier today was, could you do something like the Manning cast with Pat McAfee? Could you let him call the matches? Why does he have to be there?
Okay.
Could he do it from his studio?
That would be interesting.
Alongside of a Corey Graves and somebody else.
Now, would that be like separate from the actual live, or would it be like incorporated?
Maybe it would be cut into a few matches where Pat's energy is welcome. He always had certain, like with Shinsuke, he had kind of that relationship. I was just kicking around that idea because I don't know. Expecting him to show up every Friday and fly out of Indianapolis is almost insane.
Yeah, I agree.
And the problem is, you go from Kevin Patrick, you're almost going to an unknown, and I don't know how that's going to be any better for most casual fans. Like, look, we can't say another name. We can point to like NXT guy or somebody else. Big E.
I've heard Jim Ross maybe because his contract expired, but I'm like, let's not touch that.
I'm with you on the let's let the old guys be old guys.
Yeah,
let's let them go because you're gonna get 2 or 3 years out of Jim Ross, and I get the nostalgia of it, but you have to start building. Michael Cole can't keep coming back and saving every show that needs help. And I wonder if Corey Graves can't transition more into a play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
But then I question, does wrestling really need a play-by-play guy? Or can you just have two guys out there who enjoy wrestling? And you know, I think Corey Graves and Pat McAfee would work.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the logistics of the situation. I'm with you. I don't know. Yeah. Who is available? It seems like an interesting time. You know, is it this Friday? I didn't see. Are they pulling him immediately?
I feel like I saw it after the Rumble.
After the Rumble, it feels like you'd let the guy finish off through the Rumble, but
yeah, who knows?
Yeah, play-by-play is interesting because it takes a certain kind of, you know, they're more of an analytical guy and less of a personality. Michael Cole just has built himself into a personality.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's an outsider. Maybe that's interesting.
It is.
Bring back Pat. That's all. Just bring back.
Bring him back.
So in some form or fashion, bring back Pat. I feel like I got all the vibes from the College Game Day shit that he's not going back.
No,
it's going to take a lot of money to get him back. His relationship with ESPN seems pretty strained at this point.
It's a little rocky.
It seems like he might start looking over at WWE and saying, "Hey guys, you know, what do you have for me to do?"
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else? Anything else before we get out of here? Any last Royal Rumble notes?
Nah, man, I'm excited for it. First time in a while for the Rumble. Rumble's my favorite. You know, I think this is maybe one of the more important Rumbles that we've had in a while.
I think this is going to be one of the ones that shape the next. So what is it? It goes Rumble, it goes Elimination Chamber, and then that's it, right? That's it. So there's nothing else in between. One last thing. Let's talk about this real quick because I saw this floating around. The idea of the Royal Rumble being for the World Heavyweight Championship. What were you? I know they're not doing it now, but what would have been your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't have been mad at it. I just think logistically on the fly, that would have been hard to
agree.
Hard to really.
That's kind of my thoughts as well.
Yeah. But
is how you sell that at the last minute.
I think you would have held on to it till Chamber, had the Chamber match before it. But
all right, well, it'll be exciting. But that has been another episode of the Casual Wrestling Community Podcast. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday. Mike, you're signed in to do all of the premium live event pre-shows, right?
I'm ready, man.
All right, awesome. This is how it works. As always, I'm the Notorious NerdyD. That's Milwaukee Mike, and we are out of here.